Well, we all are associated with Kho Kho. It evokes childhood memories whenever we talk about Kho Kho. But little would have been imagining in our childhood that this sport will in fact go to such a large scale, such a big scale, and that India will be hosting the Kho Kho World Cup. I have with me Mr. Sudhanshu Mittal, who is the president of Kho Kho Federation of India, and of course he's very proud, and so are our countrymen, that that India is hosting this tournament. Thank you so much, Mr. Mittal, for joining us on Republic TV. And as I began saying that Kho Kho evokes childhood memories. Everybody has played Kho Kho in their school with their colony friends, and there are so many sports that India has made foray into, but we never thought of Kho Kho being such a serious sport. It's being taken to a different scale, and here we are hosting the World Cups. How do you feel about this and the journey that you have brought, and this stage that Kho Kho has now reached?
See, Kho Kho has been a mass sport. Since it required no money, no equipment, it was played all over the country. The moment you talk about Kho Kho, everybody will say, "Maine bhi khela," like you just said. And there's a glint in the eye, because it's a part of all of us. It's a part of our culture. It's a part of India. Bharat ka wo abhin ang hai. And it's so amazing that we've been able to take it to 55 countries globally. See, we always play games which we have imported, but very few Indian games have dared to go out. And I'm proud to say that Kho Kho has really flown. It's spread its wings. Today we are in 55 countries. We'll be in 90 countries by the end of next year. And this is being played by the natives of those countries. It's not the Indian diaspora which is settled there, which is patronizing this game. That's the strength of this game, because intrinsically, this game is so spectator friendly. It creates so much of excitement in the spectator, because it's speed, stamina, agility, strategy, reflexes. It's all what an entertaining game can be, a global game. You see, the journey from mitti, which is mud, to mat was a very serious journey. We developed the mat here, we developed the surface, because the endeavor was to globalize this game, make it an international sport. And I'm very, very proud to say that it matches up to any international game in its sheer excitement for a spectator. That's been the journey, and that's been the accomplishment of Kho Kho.
Absolutely. In fact, it goes way back into history. It was also a demo sport in the 1936 Berlin Olympics, but it dates back to even even deeper into history. It's known to be a sport that has originated from India itself. So it has that trademark of something that is Bharatiya in true sense. Yes. So tell us more about the significance of that, because it's a great opportunity to showcase India's traditional sport to the entire world.
See, in Mahabharata, this was Datera. The Chakravyuh.
Yes.
It was played on chariots. So that's the history of Kho Kho. Then the modern Kho Kho got started in Maharashtra by Lokmanya Tilak, and then it is history. This World Cup has 24 countries across the globe. Take US. In Latin America, you have countries like Argentina, Peru, and Brazil. Africa has South Africa, Kenya, Uganda, Ghana. Europe has Germany, Holland, Poland, England. Australasia has Australia, New Zealand. Asia starts with Iran, and then Pakistan, and Bangladesh, Nepal, Bhutan. But you have Korea, you have Malaysia, you have Indonesia. So that's the kind of spread of Kho Kho all across the globe. And amongst the locals, the local people of those countries have adopted this. This game has its destiny to be a part of the Olympics in 2032 and Asian Games of 2030. The World Cup is a great opportunity for India. We are showcasing it as the sport of the future, because in terms of sheer technology, in terms of sheer finesse, in terms of its entertainment value, the speed, it's all packaged in a way that it's going to be a new milestone, new benchmarks of what a World Cup should be and what a sport should be. That's the glory of Kho Kho.
As you said, it's a mass sport and there's no equipment as such. And this actually makes it quite, something that invites more and more youngsters from, more deeper corners of the country, and it supports more and more people and opportunities for youth across spectrum, men and women both.
That's the main point. Our mascot is Tara.
Yeah.
And Tejas.
Tejas and Tara, yeah.
So it's a Tara, it's a women who on an equal footing have represented this game. And that's why we have a men's World Cup and we have a women's World Cup. So both are there together. As I said when I was talking about the World Cup, we are setting new benchmarks. We are curating food for every nationality which is coming here. And this food is health food of those countries. Indian athletes have always had a problem when it came to international competitions. Our athletes would not be given the food which suits their palate in terms of health food. We had to rely on Chinese food, continental food. This is what we have taken care of. We've taken care of the technology, so we've tried to make this event a paperless event. The sheer exposure of the Indian hospitality will leave everybody spellbound. Right from their arrival, when the GMR team along with us will give them a welcome, which is going to be so different than what anybody could have experienced. And till the end, the check-ins, the travel, the arenas, the food, the hospitality, it's of a different level. So this World Cup will be the accelerator for its acceptance in the global arena. I mean, all sports would really be envying Kho Kho.
In fact, you spoke about the diet of players because they're coming from all across the country. So how is the support staff shaping up in terms of fitness, taking care of the fitness, physical and mental both? Because we see now the importance of mental health coaches also coming up in several other sports as well. So how are you taking care of injury management, physical, mental, fitness?
We are actually 2 generations ahead of anybody in all these 3 spheres. It's anatomy, which is physiology, psychology, and nutrition. So in terms of physiology, we've developed special suits which give us the liberty of mapping every player on a 3D basis. So we have a 3D mapping of a player who's playing, while playing. So we have these 18 sensors in those suits, and the data from those suits give us so much of knowledge about the gap assessments. How much is a turn, twist, how much is a load factor on his ankle, his knee twist, his jump, everything, And that's how we are perfecting these players to achieve great heights. Similarly, sports psychology is something which is very critical, and we've invested heavily on sports psychology. So we have had a psychological assessment, then there is a help, and then there is a reassessment. So there's a whole program which goes for these players. And nutrition, as I said. Nutrition is critical. So we have a biochemical analysis, and on the basis of that, whatever is the nutritional requirement, and that's to every meal. So while he's practicing, what is it that he requires? When it is on the recovery mode, what is it? And when he has a sedentary life, what is it? So every player is looked at very holistically to bring out the best of in the player. And that is what I think where the future lies. This will again be a model for other Indian sports to follow.
And in fact, you talk, of course, it's a very energetic game. You need great agility as well. But the fact that you've also brought in this new factor, that Wazir factor, if you could just shed some more light into that, the introduction of the Wazir in Kho Kho format.
The traditional game has been modernized. As I said, the idea was to make it a truly international game with a lot of excitement. So we discovered that this Wazir, who has the liberty of moving on any side, unlike a regular chaser who can take only one direction, creates a sudden excitement because it confuses the defender himself because he doesn't know. But he knows, but for him to react in a split second becomes very difficult. So the Wazir has that advantage of surprise. And it just fastens up the game, gives more scores, and gives more, it makes it very delightful for the spectator. So this game was reduced from 9 players on one side chasing the defender to 7 players. We shortened the arena because we looked at it from the television point of view. How would it look if it's 7 players, and how would it look 9 players? So a lot of hard work, research, a lot of thinking has gone behind it. Yes, there were the conformists who did feel uncomfortable about the changes we made, but gradually over a period of time they've realized that it has done a lot of good. And at the international level, that's what was required, and they've accepted it. I'm very glad that the new format we've introduced has got international acceptability, and it has created so much of excitement.
So, of course, acceptability becomes very important. The financial part of it becomes very important. The incentives to the athletes also becomes very important, because we've seen in sports like popular sports like cricket, and other sports, they have their leagues, and of course it's big money involved, and it's a lot of media exposure as well. And what they get through it, you see Olympians when they come back with medals, they get a job, they get those advertisements as well, and of course that's a huge skill depending on their achievement. Also the spotlight they get. But what is the incentive here that has been introduced for the players and for more athletes to in fact be motivated to take up the sport?
Earlier, Kho Kho could never be envisaged as a career because there was really nothing which could come out of playing Kho Kho. But you'll be surprised. I must thank the central government, the Prime Minister. Kho Kho has now been included as a sport for sports quota in the central government jobs and other jobs. So around 3,000 Kho Kho players today have got employment. That's what has given them the dreams. Now every player thinks, if I play Kho Kho, I have a future. And you see, you become world champions, the kind of jobs you have are amazing. Plus, I must thank the media. Media has been showing these players and they've become stars. Now people line up to take their autographs. They are recognized if they're traveling. The families are so proud of them. So everywhere, these players of Kho Kho, who were supposed to be poor cousins of cricketers or any other sport, have now become celebrities themselves. And that is what has really accelerated or amplified the desire amongst the youngsters to be a part of Kho Kho. So today, dreams are born. The moment a boy steps in or a girl steps onto the Kho Kho field to think about a bright future. There's enough money now. As I said, they're getting government jobs, they're getting all kind of things. Delhi University has reserved something like 150 seats for Kho Kho players to be admitted. So, nobody could have imagined this kind of thing, say 5 years back. So we have come a long way, and we have really created the excitement as a career amongst the youth and the youngsters, which I'm sure will take this game to every nook and corner of the country for being a game with a career prospect.
Right, and as the president of the federation, sir, if you talk about the infrastructure and how has Kho Kho, grown, if you talk about from the grassroots level to the national and international level, if you could just throw some light on how, the tournaments have been going on and about the infrastructure and the entire support system from the authorities, from the government, and of course, on ground.
The Kho Kho Federation of India has 680 district units. So we have a huge spread. So there are district tournaments and there are state tournaments. Now, we have been conducting our nationals for the last 56 years. For some time, it was not a game with sheen. But the last couple of years, now it's become a game with a lot of sheen. So the nationals have become very competitive and very glamorous. Looking at all this, when we spread our wings, we found great acceptability globally. Today, 55 countries have Kho Kho being played. South Africa has 1,200 schools where Kho Kho is being played. So globally, looking at the speed, the entertainment, the excitement it generates, and the fact that there's no money required to play this game. There's no expenditure which is required. It's just 2 poles and they can play anywhere. Anyway, the surfaces are there. And using those artificial surfaces, now globally, it's being played with ease and in abundance. And that's what is required for a mass sport to grow. So as far as the government is concerned, I must compliment the government. You know, though we are not an Olympic sport, we are not an Asian sport, but the government included us in the ACTC program. And they provided us with training camps, they provided us with coaches, they provided us with mats, everything we needed to popularize this game nationally as well as internationally. Now in this World Cup also, the ministry has been so actively cooperating. The sports minister has become the chairman of the organizing committee. The Indian Olympic Association's chairperson, P.T. Usha, is the chairman of the reception committee. Is that kind of a support? Because it's the pride of India. It's one game which has now gone global. I would say, I'm audacious to say that probably no other Indian sport has gone so far. We've done it, and it's with a lot of support from the government as well as the sports lover. The entire, you see, look at the film industry. I mean, we have a Shah Rukh Khan, we have a Tiger Shroff, we have Vivek Oberoi, we have Sara Ali and Sara Ali Khan and Ananya, and a lot of, now I'm in the verge of requesting Sachin Tendulkar ji to endorse this game as Bharat Ka Apna Khel. They've all contributed. I mean, they have become brand ambassadors, they have popularized this game, they are on the social media promoting this game.
Yes.
So every section of the society has come forward to support this because they all say Bharat Ka Apna Khel. See, the pride in our game becoming global is entirely a very different pride. It's a very nationalist feeling we all get when we see our game being adopted by so many countries and being played in, you know, all across the country, all across the world. That's what united India to be behind this game, for it to go global.
Absolutely. So finally, before I let you go, what is your aim? What is your dream? If you could just tell us very shortly, you know, when it comes to Kho Kho, the game itself, and of course, India as a Kho Kho playing nation.
See, Indians love gold. So our aim is very simple. 2032 Olympics, we will make an endeavor to be there. And 2030 Asian Games. So that we are at least assured of 2 gold medals. Men and women, for both these. That's the aspiration, that's the goal, and we are confident we'll achieve it. Because, as I said, by the end of next year, we will be in 90 countries. That would be some accomplishment.
Right, sir. Thank you so much, Dr. Sudhanshu Mittal, for joining us on Republic TV. Of course, viewers, India versus Pakistan is the opening match, and all eyes will be, of course, glued to the screens for that match. And of course, it's happening in Delhi NCR, in Noida also. So, of course, there will be, of course, fans from across the country's cosmopolitan city, where people will be connecting with the sport, more than ever before. Thank you so much, Mr. Sudhanshu Mittal, for joining us on Republic TV.
Thank you so much.